Greetings, pen pals. I have another pen here from Hero today. This is a Hero 757. It's a pretty hefty pen, weighs in at 45 grams. It's all metal. Metal everywhere. So it's a solid metal pen, 45 grams. Decently sized too. So here it is compared to a Lamy Safari and a Pilot Metropolitan. So you can see as you can see, it's right in the ballpark of these popular pens, and decent amount of girth as well. Can we compare it to some other pens? We most certainly can. Okay, here we are comparing it to sort of a somewhat random bunch of other pens. So this is our Hero 757 compared to a pen BBS 500, which is a pretty long pen. As you can see, it's a bit shorter than that. It's a tiny bit shorter than a pen BBS 309, not by a lot. It's about the same size as a TWSBI Echo and also about the same size as this Jinhao X750. So as you can see, it's a fairly typical length pen, even though, like I said, it is a heavy pen because of its all metal construction. All right, to me, the most notable thing on this guy is this pattern in the pen. So this is, at least in my mind, although not from a color scheme perspective, but from a style perspective, is very much meant to echo the work of a Dutch artist named Piet Mondrian. Who work looks that you may be familiar with, his stuff that looks kind of like this. And so again, he didn't use this kind of color scheme. He used basically reds, blues, whites, etc. And this is different. This has got grays and oranges and yellows in it. Although he did use yellows, obviously. But you know, the color scheme is not a typical Mondrian color scheme, but I believe the pattern, to me at least, definitely is. But it's pretty nice, and I kind of like it, and kind of cool looking. Around the cap band, it's got some Chinese text, the Hero logo, and it says Hero, and then it simply says 757. It's got a very traditional Hero style clip with the Hero logo embossed on it, and the clip is quite functional. It's a pull to uncap pen. The finials sort of complement each other on the top and bottom. They have this sort of inset, pearlized kind of plasticky material, which looks pretty nice. I actually have to say it looks really nice. I'm not 100% sure it matches this pen particularly well, but it does look pretty nice. The backhand has sort of a fake piston turning knob, and it is a fake piston turning knob because this is a cartridge converter pen, and it's got metal everywhere. So obviously you will not be eyedropping this pen kind of like ever. It's got a plastic section, not a smooth metal section. So those of you who sort of eschew smooth metal sections will be happy. It's got nice trim rings on either end of the section. Really nice number 6 two-tone nib that's stamped with the Hero logo, the word Hero, and some scroll work. Really pretty nice with an uninspiring plastic feed. And there we go. Nice pen. This material will, over time, definitely scratch. I mean, if you're in love with this finish, it's going to show its wear and tear over time. Hadn't had this that long, and it's already this scratches and stuff in the paint job, so to speak. So it's kind of almost like getting a new car. Once you get that first scratch, it's all downhill from there. One thing I will point out, it does have a plastic cap liner. But there's a sort of a screw that kind of goes right through it to, I guess, anchor the finial. And I will say that this pen does not do a particularly good job of keeping the nib wet over just even a couple of days. So it does, you need to kind of get it restarted if you let it sit for a couple of days. So that plastic cap liner doesn't really get the job done terribly well. Anyway, that's really about it for this particular pen. Not a lot to say. Works aesthetically, I think it's really a nice looking pen. But as they always say, pens were meant to write. And of course, you're going to want to see this pen write, and I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, folks, what we're writing with here today is a Hero 757, and this has a number 6 steel nib. And we'll call this a medium. It's not labeled, but for an Asian nib, I'd definitely say it's a medium. And this, again, writes well. It's got some good flow. Writes pretty nice. I would say it's about average in wetness. Not a gusher, but writes nice, well controlled, etc. So pretty nice. In terms of flex, nah, you're not going to get any kind of flex out of this. It's a pretty stiff nib actually, but again, writes well, good flow, etc. Like I said, the one ding I would have on this pen is that the cap liner is not really effective at all. So if you let this sit for a couple of days, it's really going to dry out on you. But if you're not planning on doing that, or even if you are, just know what you have to deal with here, and you'll be fine. So I think that's about it for this pen, for this video, but let's talk about this ink now for a minute, shall we? All right, this is a ink from Birmingham. So this is Birmingham. Highland Park Zoo. Polar bear. And this is sort of a turquoisey kind of blue. So here's what the swatch looks like on it. One might compare it to something like Iroshizuku Ameiru. One might compare it even to Iroshizuku Konpeki. It's definitely darker than that, but in the same family. One might compare it to Robert Oster Soda Pop Blue, but it's definitely much darker than that. But I would definitely say in the same family as these guys. But a pretty nice ink, all in all. This is part of a whole new batch from Birmingham. They were kind of out of manufacturing inks for a while, just got back into it in a big way with, I think, a dozen or 2 dozen different colors available and stuff like that. So very nice ink from Birmingham. Like the color, very attractive, etc. That's what it looks like on this Rhodia paper. Let's take a quick look at what it looks like on Tomoe River paper. Okay, like we said, this is Birmingham. Polar bear. So, nice color. You get a little bit of variation, especially on this Tomoe River paper, but it's just sort of kind of an intense, nice blue. You're definitely getting, like I said, a little bit of variation and a tiny, and I do mean tiny, bit of sheen on this Rhodia paper. But again, all in all, a very attractive ink. Speaking of attractive, what would be really attractive is if all you folks out there could please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That would just be really welcome and much appreciated. And as always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, because I sure enjoyed making it. And until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.